Ulrich presses forward, determined to fulfill his father's dream and carve House Starfell into legend. His daughter Marella is undergoing trials to be forged into the next Sword of the Morning, a path that Ulrich hopes may bring dawn into Starfell's hands. Meanwhile, Ulrich's son and heir Bastian draws ever nearer to the Iron Throne, but the family's ambitions reach even higher. Ulrich has begun the search for dragon eggs, and whispers speak of a bold new goal to one day restore Old Valyria itself. The legacy of Starfell is no longer just about survival, it's about conquest. Hello everybody and welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3, a Game of Thrones modded series. Today we are playing as Lord Ulrich Starfell. We are looking to drive forward the legacy of House Starfell, which was created by our father, Lord Vaelor, the Poet Sand. Vaelor was born as a bastard into House Dane before becoming a bastard founder and creating our new House Starfell. Vaelor started strong, gaining himself the High Lordship of Blackmont, and Ulrich has stretched that even further, taking the remainder of the Torrentine to make himself the new High Lord of the Torrentine, which now puts in the unique position of being a bastard house of House Dane that now rules over actual members of House Dane. We are moments away from joining Lord Braxton's grand tournament in Meadowsmeet here, but before we dive in, I wanted to speak briefly about dragons and how we plan to get some dragons into our actual dynasty. Now, thus far, we have been primarily focused on trying to marry our actual children off to those of Valyrian culture. In this case, we have betrothed our son, Bastian Starfell, here to Daenerys Targaryen. She is obviously of High Valyrian descent. From the bits of research I have done since starting this series to try and understand how some of this works a bit better, my understanding is that dragon blood is a thing, and it's something that we actually saw in the filters when we were actually looking for a marriage for Bastian here. Dragon blood ultimately are any characters that are of Valyrian cultures of any type or dragon riding houses. Those with dragon blood have the ability to cradle and hatch a dragon egg. Now, I think where this may have caused confusion is I kept talking about how we were going to send our children off to try and find a wild dragon and bond with it. The thing is, we don't necessarily need Valyrian blood for that. What we actually need is just this dragon rider trait. Somebody pointed this out in the comments previously, saying that ultimately we just need to marry a dragon rider or be closely descended from a dragon rider, and then we should be able to bond with a dragon. So honestly, I'm not even trying to be diplomatic here, but I actually think everybody is correct. I think I just need to be more clear about what we're actually trying to do. If we want to just try and find and tame a wild dragon, then we do just need that dragon rider trait. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about though when it comes to this is that even though some of these dragons, like Cannibal here, oh my goodness, he looks scary. Even though he's technically wild, he does still have a host. I'm not entirely sure, but I suspect that I can't just travel into this realm and attempt to tame him. I believe only the host actually has the opportunity to do that. I could be wrong though, we'll have to see. So what we may actually have to do instead is, rather than focusing on a dragon, is actually focus on picking up a dragon egg and then trying to hatch that. Now, most of the dragon eggs at the moment are controlled by King Daemon Targaryen of the Iron Throne. There is one held by Lord Jaehaerys Velaryon of Driftmark, but that is a pedestal item. It appears as though this egg has been petrified and shown no signs of ever hatching. Now, I don't know if that actually means it's impossible or not, but probably won't be the one we'll go for. Magister Sapoto here also has 3 eggs himself, and there's one egg held by Dennis here, who is King Gaemon's head dragon keeper, and King Gaemon, in the kindness of his heart, just gave his dragon keeper an egg to hold on to. So the way I think we're going to try and go about it is, first of all, getting our hands on one of these dragon eggs. Now, Bastian is married into House Targaryen, so we could have a look to see if Princess Daenerys here is actually in line for any eggs. Obviously, her actual mother here is Princess Viela of Dragonstone. doesn't actually have any dragon eggs in her inventory, so not exactly sure where they will end up. I imagine Prince Gaiman will instead wait till he has some children when he's older, and then he'll start giving some eggs to them, but maybe we just try and rob those off him. Instead of trying to rob a dragon egg from the family we've just married into and the rulers of the Iron Throne, we could instead try to rob one off Magister Sapoto here. He does have 3 in his possession. Now, it's not going to be easy. We could buy an artifact claim, but the problem is that that is going to be not 1500 prestige for a dragon egg, 10,000. And that is still just to get the claim. Once we have the claim, we then still need to actually find a way to get it through stealing it or some other scheme. So going forward, what I'm going to try and do is continuously make sure that I marry my dynasty off to those with dragon blood. Make sure that's just all around the family. Again, they don't need to be Targaryen or High Valyrian, just those with dragon blood. And then ideally, rather than just defaulting to that, I will first look for any character with the Dragon Rider trait and try and marry as close to them as possible to see if we can also just pick up that trait and go from there. In the meantime, though, we still need to grow and build up our resources. We could try and become the King of Dorne, for example. That would be pretty interesting. But even if we can get our hands on a dragon egg, we still want to make sure we have tons of resources here so we can actually get the highest possible chance of being successful with that. Something else, however, we could also do is actually make our way back over to the ruins of Old Valyria. When we zoom in on the ruins here, we do have the ability to restore them. Now, there's 2 ways we can do this, either with 400 gold and the de jure liege on a border of the ruin, or have a illustrious level of fame and a level 6 trade port. So technically, if we could get a trade port to a high enough level and build up enough gold, we could actually try and restore some of the ruins over in Valyria. And maybe we could find an egg or 2 kicking around over here. We will have to see. It's going to be a slow burn, though. Of course, I could have just started this series with the Dragon Rider trait, but I think that while we'll have to wait for it, when we eventually get a dragon into our dynasty, it's going to feel so much more rewarding. For now, though, let's continue with Ulrich here into our grand tournament and see if we can qualify. We have qualified for the melee, and our team is up against Captain Tristanes here of the House of Buried Keeps Tidings. I love how we've accidentally turned into a banker here. I spoke all this big game about how we're going to become dragon riders, but thus far, the system we've interacted the most with is just actually getting involved inside of a bank. I'm at the middle of a tournament here and they're showing me the balance sheet. What is this net profit, Master Ryam? What is this net profit? Excuse me? I need to get in control of this bank. The people in control of this bank voted for a guy with 4 stewardship to run it. Yeah, a truly thorough assessment. Let me get back to my tournament. Okay, we're going to attempt to win a soldier's victory. To be honest, Ulrich's marshal isn't that strong. Very good prowess, but he's more of a diplomatic character than a martial one. Either way, let's see if we can make this happen. I was not overly confident about that, but we've actually done it. To be fair, we could not show up representing House Starfell, talking about how we are now the main house inside of House Dane, and then actually lose the melee. Time for the archery contest now. Valor was amazing at this, managing to score blindfolded. Let's see if we can pull it off. Don't tell me we've won this as well, did we? Oh my word. Who was even at this tournament? 236 guests. That's actually... okay, fair enough. For a second I was like, is it just me and 4 other people here? But no, we've actually just won the melee and the archery contest. House Starfell takes the entire tournament. Ooh, look at this. We've won the prize crossbow for even more prowess. Thank you very much. Okay, we will let Ulfric return home now. What is this? An offer of knight tutelage. I would like for your son, Cedric Starfell, to become a squire of Davin Illyrian. That's fine, we'll agree to that. Cedric can be a squire to this man. Hopefully he ends up doing the family proud. After returning home from the tournament, we've gained the trait ill. Do no more than what's necessary for now. Hopefully we can recover from this. We are 44. We should be fine. We have another event here with Marella, our daughter, seeing if we can make her Sword of the Morning. Some are born with kindness, others must learn it in their rearing. I fear there is little time now to impress any such such lessons upon them, so all I can do now is teach them the value of skill with your steel. Hopefully she can increase her prowess by at least 1 or 2 here. We'll take 2. We'll take 2. What I would have given to have the opportunity to try and raise my primary heir to be Sword of the Morning here. Even the ability just to actually help her pick up Brave, Just, and Patient. All incredible traits, all virtuous to the faithful. Incredible. 13 prowess at 12. Oh, look at this. Jother Peasbury's recent death has left Princess Viella Targaryen as the next regent of the 7 Kingdoms of the Iron Throne, which is important for us because we have betrothed our son to her daughter, Daenerys. We have lost the trait ill and we are back to our old self. Tremendous news. Now, we can petition the king once again. In this case, it is a queen, the Lady of Dorne herself, Arlene. We are already on her council. I might actually go and see if she will fund the actual building of a city holding inside one of our counties. If she wants to pay for it, that would be incredible. Now, of course, she might just say no and go away, but there is no harm in us asking. We have found a hermit, Uros, here, and we can ask him to tell us about our future, or we can recruit him. I mean, he is a wise man. That could come in useful. Why not? Come along, Uros. Oh, Lord Miles now gives us a warm reception when we enter his keep, but he says, "My dear Lord Ulrich, it's such an honor to welcome you." But Miles stops in the middle of his sentence, his face livid. "What are you doing with my hermit?" Well, now he is my garden hermit, and we'll actually appoint him as our garden hermit court position. It'll help us gain wise man trait experience, some prestige, and monthly learning lifestyle experience. Absolutely. Hold on a minute. We're second in line for the High Lordship of Prince's Pass. This is interesting. Currently in Prince's Pass, our father had that weird relationship of the matrilineal marriage. So technically, our half-sister and rival, Lady Gialla Fowler, is now in control of Prince's Pass. She does have a daughter, also called Gialla, but then it would be us. Jesus, look at this. Lady Gialla's husband was killed after he was eaten by a dragon. Princess Rhaenyra's dragon. Now, Lady Gialla is refusing marriage. She does just have one daughter here who's next in line. If the daughter wasn't in the picture, it would be us. However, we are not much of a murderer. What we could try and do, though, is actually marry you off to one of my other sons. Possibly even Cedric here, maybe? You would actually accept that. It would give us the alliance, and then when they have children, they would be born inside of House Starfell, and that could mean that Starfell would gain control of Prince's Pass. We'll do this for now. We'll absolutely do this for now. Going forward, the more children we can have, the better, because I want to be able to marry a good portion of them off to those with Valyrian blood, but obviously we'll need some others for situations like that, or just overall alliances. Here we are in front of the Queen. I lay out my arguments for the development of the settlement of Violet Rift in the Lordship of Starfall, listing the benefits just as rehearsed. Eventually she addresses me. "You make some good arguments, but if I'm to agree to your request, I will need something in return. Surely you see it would benefit both of us if we can come to an arrangement." So she would accept to pay 400 gold in order to build a city inside of Starfall. We would lose our hook on her though, which normally I wouldn't mind that much, but because of her actual crown authority, at the moment we need a hook on her if we want to go to war. But in this case, I mean, 400 gold in a free city, hard to turn down. If we really want to get a hook back, I'm sure we can work towards that. For now, we'll accept, and she will help us build the Violet Rift here. So if we look at Starfall now, the last remaining open holding is now constructing a city fully funded by the Queen herself. We are moments away from home here, and there's been a fire in the night. A distant loud rumble of thunder. Soon there's another, combined with a dazzling flash of lightning. So we have two options here. We could try to run, we'll lose some prestige, and Alara Fairhollow here might get injured and burned. Alternatively, we could try to actually put out the fire before it spreads too far, but then there's a decent chance that we could also gain wounded and burned. I mean, realistically, this fire is happening right next to our capital. We are almost home. Let's try and put it out if we can. So the fire is stopped, we're fine, but poor Alara here did gain wounded and burned. Sorry about that, Alara, and we were so close to home. Now, King Gaiman Targaryen here has actually picked up consumption. If he dies, his regent, Viella Targaryen of Dragonstone, would come to power. If that was to happen, then Bastian, our son, would be significantly closer to the Iron Throne itself. Now, it looks like House Dane is not happy living in the shadows here. Lord Edmund Dane of Dawnbrink is now demanding that I make him my regent. Unfortunately, though, Edmund, that is not going to be something that we are going to entertain. Despite having consumption, though, Gaiman is still hatching new dragons into the world. This one is slow, though, which is unfortunate to see. I mean, we'll take a slow dragon, Gaiman. You can throw that one over our way. We'll figure it out. Lady Giala, our half-sister, has actually come before us and actually wants to start anew. I'm happy to bury the hatchet. We don't need to be rivals anymore. I can just try and usurp your duchy without war, so that's fine. Aerion has taken to the skies now. This is actually the brother of Daenerys, who Bastion is married to. 8 years old, and he's taking flight on this thing. Fair play to him. Now, while preparing for a hunt, we had the ability to pay 40 gold for a pet dog. Why not? What better name for a dog inside of House Starfell than Comet? One day we'll be naming a dragon, I promise. A man arrived at my court today claiming to be an artist. He states to have been struck by the beauty of my land and wishes to stay for inspiration. He promises to dedicate a painting to me in return for my hospitality. Okay, by all means. A bit suspect that I can't actually see him. The artist was gone this morning. He did not let anyone know he had left. I walked into the room he had used as a studio for the first time and was struck by a beautiful painting of my castle. Now, we could sell it for 50 gold. I will display it instead, though. We'll get well-known dynasty, bit more piety, prestige, and general opinion. Absolutely. Marella has trained her entire life for this day. The day where she will either prove her skill at arms or forever find dawn out of reach. To be Sword of the Morning, you must above all be a true master of the blade, perhaps the greatest in Westeros or beyond. A peerless knight is all that will do for Dawn until the time of trial has come. Marella must face a full-grown knight in combat and not only win, but show exceptional skill in the process. I could say I cannot risk her, call it off, but I'm going to say a true knight risks death. Start the trial. 80% chance of success here, 10% chance that she dies, and 33% chance she's wounded. Come on. Oh, while we're waiting, we've been called to war. I call on you to honor our alliance and join me in the 8th war to remove Princess Viella as regent. It's seemingly just Lord Stefan Selmy here, who we do actually have an alliance with, but unfortunately, our alliances are deeper with the Targaryens at the moment. We will join her side. She is not going to need our help, though. Some enemy allies might join, but I suspect this army of 5,000 is literally walking into the fire here. There it is, the battle on Dragonstone itself, and she has absolutely tidied up there. I think she's going to be absolutely fine. An immediate victory, quicker than I probably even could have gotten my army over to Marchfields. Now then, we have accepted an invitation to join a hunt over in the High Lordship of the Tor here. To be honest, I'm not sure if Marella has even started her trial yet. I think she has, because she's already a legendary blade master, 22 prowess at 15 years of age. There was no pop-up though, so I'm not sure if she was just successful off camera, but maybe we'll have some more events around her becoming Sword of the Morning. Hopefully we do. Daenerys takes to the skies. Here we go. Daenerys has managed to claim the beast Silverwing. Let us hope she's not consumed by ambition. And this is Daenerys, who is betrothed to our son. So our son is now officially married to a woman who is not only Valyrian blood, but a dragon rider. 2 for 1, we will take it. I'm going to be honest, Lord Castos, this hunt is not looking great with your 11.5% success chance, but hopefully we can just enjoy ourselves while we're out here. Honestly, I think it may be time for Ulrich to rotate back into intrigue. Yes, his martial isn't that fantastic, but we already have accomplished forger inside of the diplomacy lifestyle. That could enable us to actually forge a claim on a dragon egg. If we can get our intrigue up, we could possibly even steal one. We do have Spider over here as well, which is unique to this mod. As to be expected, no success here with the hunt, but we did officially pick up the hunter trait at the very least. We will not say no to another prowess. Marella comes of age. She has gained the trait Skill Tactician, Formidable Fighter, and Aggressive Attacker. Oh, Cedric came of age as well. Intricate Web Weaver and Skill Fighter. That may be all we can really do for you then, Marella. 16 years of age, 30 prowess, incredibly good character. I assume, I can only hope that eventually you can become Sword of the Morning. Oh no, here it is, here it is. A night of anticipation. My daughter Marella is still in the backyard practicing with a blade. Even though the moon is high in the sky and the morning remains far away, tomorrow she will be weighed and measured, and she worries she will be found wanting. All we can do now is wait for the dawn. It's nearly judgment time. A rising sun. The day of judgment has come and all of our houses are here to witness. I have heard the reports of lords and ladies high and low, of small folk and knights. Tales of skill, bravery and a noble heart. Though their deeds have yet to be written, not all who claim dawn were known to the realm when they first held the ancient blade aloft. There is plenty of time yet for fame to come to them. The light of the morning is scattered across the room, landing on the milky white blade of dawn in my hand, illuminating its surface and sending chills down my spine. Now is the time. There is little more to be heard and much to be considered. The final judgment lies as much with me as anyone. Is my daughter worthy of becoming the legendary sword of the morning? Can they be trusted to bring light to a world so full of darkness? She is worthy. Marella will become the sword of the morning and will become the owner of Dawn. We have achieved our first true goal of getting Dawn inside of House Starfell. My daughter Marella has finally achieved her long-held goal of becoming Sword of the Morning, and she has become a knight all of House Dane should be proud of, to the newly risen star. We have a new director of the bank here, Master Garrett. 7 stewardship now. Okay, the bank is moving up in the world. So far, our shares... Oh, they're actually up. They're up about 3 gold, which is great to see. The bank is also back making a profit. We've gained 2 gold, which is fantastic to see. How do we have 2,500 in expenses? What is happening here? King Gaiman has declared war on Lord Aaron. Why are you declaring war on just a count? Westerosi, draconic conquest of the High Lordship of Bear Island. I don't know how this man over here in this boy over here in Bearstone was able to gain his independence, but Gaiman is quickly putting an end to that. Something else I would like to do is actually gain control of the Elbow here. That is where we have a small harbour, which, if I can upgrade this to level 6, will then put us into a position to be able to actually start restoring some other ruins over here inside of the Empire of Valyria. Now, we are going to need mountains of gold to do that, but I would like to control the Elbow just so that I can actually focus on it rather than relying on our actual vassals too. Our domain limit is still a bit of an issue, but if I can hold on to the capital of the Torrentine and the capital of Blackmont, and then just have the Elbow as well, working on the shipyards, that could work. So I am actually going to claim the title here. Thankfully, she's part of our dynasty, so we can do this with renown. Now I have a claim on the Elbow, so it's no longer tyrannical for me to actually revoke it, and it even seems like she'll accept. Amazing, she has. She sees no choice but to bow. We have gained a rival, but that's perfectly fine. For the time being then, I will grant Sun's Edge away to Cedric here. You can hold on to that castle for us. And I can also grant away Sunstop here because we only really are interested in the actual port. As a matter of fact, I may even give Sunstop to Marella here and then marry her off matrilineally, keep her nice and close to the realm, make sure she doesn't die of anything super crazy. I'm actually going to marry Marella off matrilineally to Sir Nemor Manwoody here. This will also give us an alliance with Red March, which will be very nice indeed. We're not exactly struggling with alliances at the moment, particularly with the actual Viella of the Iron Throne alliance. That is very nice indeed, but there's 7,000 troops as well as dragons. But they could be busy at different times, and I kind of like picking up more and more vassals inside of Dorne here to possibly one day get ourselves in control of the kingdom. I'm going to immediately get to work on upgrading the trade port here. It's going to be significantly more gold to upgrade this to level 6, which is what we need, but at least we are on our way to possibly restoring some ruins in Old Valyria. With that though, I'm going to leave this episode here. Very happy that we have been able to establish Marella as the Sword of the Morning. Dawn is now in our possession. Our son Bastian is now officially, I thought that was his wife for a second, he is now officially married off to a dragon rider, which will be tremendous when we take over as him. And we are also slowly but surely working our way towards what is required to restore some ruins over in High Valyria. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support the channel and everything that I do here. A very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier, Faustbread, Spencer Roberts, Batch Plays, and Wyatt Laird. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.